Imagine, if you will, the Republic of Kenya in the throes of another presidential election. The year is 2027. Names are thrown into the ring. President William Ruto seeking re-election. The fiery Okiya Omtata, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, bolstered by Rigathi Gachagua, and perhaps even the steadfast Fred Matiang'i. But the ultimate question hangs in the air. Could any of them secure the elusive 50% plus one threshold needed to claim the coveted presidential seat? Whispers carried on the political winds suggest a subtle strategy unfolding. William Ruto, ever the strategist, understands a shift in the political landscape. With the once reliable Mount Kenya region gone, could his salvation lie in an alliance with Raila Odinga? Is Ruto subtly courting Odinga, offering a path toward a shared future? Odinga, fresh from a return to Kenya, fuels the speculation, hinting at significant political announcements from Mombasa to Kisumu.
We will give a way forward very, very shortly.
There will be extensive consultations.
The reality of Kenya politics is a dance of pragmatism. Parties are built with the express purpose of securing power to nominate candidates, contest elections, and ultimately form the government. Raila Odinga, a veteran of the political arena, has pursued this goal relentlessly, yet elusive, 5 times over. Now, could he achieve through alliance what he has been unable to achieve through direct victory? However, an alliance with Ruto is not without its perils. First and foremost, it threatens to cleave the Orange Democratic movement right down the middle. 2 factions are emerging, one embracing cooperation with Ruto, the other vehemently opposed. A united ODM poses a challenge to Ruto's ambition, while a fractured ODM becomes his tool of play. Just as Ruto dismantled Musalia Mudavadi's ANC, critics fear he might be laying the groundwork to weaken ODM from within, starting with the defection of 7 ODM members immediately upon assuming his presidency in 2022. Beyond party divisions, there are deeper undercurrents at play. Could Ruto be using Odinga in a proxy war against Rigathi Gachagua? Is this conflict a smokescreen for a larger strategy? To drive a wedge between the Luo and Kikuyu communities? The specter of the 41 versus 1 narrative looms, reminding Kenyans of the historical tensions dating back to independence. The pages of history are filled with cautionary tales. In the early 1990s, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga's presidential bid seemed poised for success. Yet, the unity fractured when external forces sowed seeds of doubt, convincing Kenneth Matiba that he too could seize the presidency. The division allowed Daniel Arap Moi to maintain his grip on power.
When he came, he had a very good reception at the airport, our president. Now, when he saw that reception, everybody said, by the way, is moved by the ground.
The one who came waving.
And then they come waving. They were blackguards, waving him to be the president. The first thing he did when he now landed in Ford was a big quarrel with Jaramogi Oginga.
And that was the end of it.
Because it was entered into him that you are also able to be the president. It was done deliberately by some people away, Ford. So he got into it. He got into the trap. And that trap caused a split in Ford. Then you ended up having Ford Kenya, and then you now ended up having Ford Asili. Now Ford Kenya says we are the first one, so we are the ones who are known in Kenya. So they call themselves Ford Kenya. Matiba said, I'm Asili. I think he was financing Ford all the time from the beginning. So he said, Mimi ni Asili. So he said, Ford Asili. Not long from there, then we got Ford people. And then
Matiba, and then Kibaki surfaced.
And then Kibaki surfaced with his Democratic Party, because they were hoping Kibaki would then go into Ford. But when it now split, it now became Kibaki DP. I think there was also the chemistry between Kibaki and Matiba who are not that right. Otherwise, Kibaki would have gone into Ford Asili. But I think the chemistry, the geographical content of things, the morphology was not right for Kibaki to go into Ford Asili. Now, so that is how they were done. Many more activities also were done again by the fellows in government, and it split them even further. It's just like I told you, you will come as one and you will live in different directions, scattered, and they were scattered. So they were never able to reach the threshold.
Could Ruto be trying to replay this old script? Some whispers say Gachagua is trying to persuade Odinga that the Kikuyu people will join Luo in their quest for power. They might be able to send Ruto home and make Odinga president. It is easy for Ruto to convince the Luo people that there is no way the Kikuyu will vote for Odinga, given the lie that even in 2022, they refused to do so.
Sinyinyi ndio kusema, sinyinyi ndio kuamua, so hao watu wawache kutupatia vitisho.
But the truth is, Odinga received over 1 million votes from Mount Kenya region, which is a vast number. Given that the region is no longer with Ruto, it is much easier for Odinga to gain more Mount Kenya votes now. But due to the proxy war, Odinga must be very careful.
I'm going to meet with my friends, my supporters, and I'm going to consult widely.
There will be extensive consultations across the political divide as we work towards the unity of our country.
Through Azimio la Umoja, Odinga and former President Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to break the historical injustices and animosity between the Kikuyu and the Luo communities by convincing the Kikuyu nation to vote for Odinga as president. In any case, an agreement with Ruto today means the historical journey of ending the animosity is over. Many ODM supporters see an agreement between Odinga and Ruto as a ploy by Mr. Ruto to help him fight the Kikuyu, who are now aligned to Rigathi Gachagua, the friend turned foe to William Ruto.
Sisi tukiwa pale tunalia kwa street, tunaangalia simu, tukaona kuna pande za hii nchi ambayo watu wanashangilia, wanacheka, wanabeba miguu juu, wanapiga makofi. Tukasema sawa tu, tumeona marafiki wetu ni kina nani na ipo siku.
Bia Bwana Sifuna awache ego, akuwe mtu wa kuheshimu viongozi wengi. Na najua yeye ndio candidate wa Gachagua kwa kiti ya governor 2027 hapa. Abaki kwa hiyo ofisi yao Munyororo, waende kule. Sisi tutabaki kwa ODM.
Ruto rode on the Raila phobia narrative to win Mount Kenya region. Just like Moi felt most threatened by Njonjo, Ruto feels most threatened by Gachagua and is out to exercise his utmost unassailable presidential powers. Moi began a campaign to discredit the former kingmaker, who traded his appointment as Attorney General for the more vulnerable office of a cabinet minister in a newly created Ministry of Constitutional Affairs. And just like Gachagua today, the former deputy faced the knife of a humiliating impeachment. Former late President Kibaki, who had left the government late in 1991, became the official leader of the opposition after elections in 1997. Many Kenyans had hoped that the various opposition parties would cooperate and field a single candidate who would oust Moi, but there were more than 8 on the ballot. Moi, the incumbent, used the pre-existing political network and won by a large margin. Kibaki challenged the results in court, but his case was dismissed. And just like today, come 2027, some ODM supporters believe the script is the same. The number one mission of President William Ruto is to ensure the opposition does not unite and field a single candidate against him. And Raila Odinga would be the best man for this job. Mr. Odinga also stands the risk of labeling himself a betrayer, since many believe he took advantage of the June 2024 Gen Z protests to join government, and further to seek the support of William Ruto for the AUC position which he lost. Many have argued that Ruto might be using Raila to stop the opposition from uniting. In the 2 years since Ruto became president, taxes on salaries have gone up, the sales tax on fuel has doubled, and people are also paying a new housing levy and health insurance tax that is yet to benefit many Kenyans. Meanwhile, Odinga has come under heavy criticism, especially from the young people behind the June protests, who accuse him of betrayal. He insists that he only, quote, donated experts to help the president stabilize and save the country. The political chessboard of Kenya is complex, the pieces constantly shifting. Alliances are forged and broken, loyalties tested, and historical wounds reopened. As 2027 approaches, the choices made by these key players will determine the future of the nation. Will they bridge divides or deepen them? Will they pursue power at any cost or strive for a more unified future? The answers remain to be seen.